couchmates, or couchers, or couchies, or whatever the heck we're gonna call you guys. And welcome to episode 100 in binary. That's 4. I'm the worst. I'm joined back here with my favorite co-host, Anthony, and my not-so-favorite special guest. How about you go ahead and introduce yourself, special guest?
I'm Half Tom, and I want to be Ricky's friend.
He wants it so bad.
It's not gonna happen.
It's probably not gonna happen.
I like to dream.
Half Tom, how did you get here?
Well, I was sleeping on my couch when I received a text from my buddy Anthony here.
Yeah?
And I decided, hey, this is a chance to hang out with my boy Ricky. So I decided to come over.
I don't remember any of this. I think you're making it up.
I think Hapto might be lying.
I do that quite a lot.
None of us really expected him at the door.
Yeah, he just sort of came in through the window, which is weird because we're on the second story right now.
It's true.
I really want friends.
He's got mad hops.
One of us may be the black friend. Find out who.
Next episode. Spoiler alert.
So, Tom, welcome to the podcast. What have you been doing with the week?
Work and school, really. Nothing really exciting.
Yeah. Oh, man. We were hoping for some interesting conversations, but you're just
I'm sorry.
Disappointment.
I usually am.
If you want to be my friend, you're going to have to try harder than that.
Can I tell you I slayed a dragon?
You slayed a dragon.
Did you?
I did.
How'd you slay a dragon?
With magic in one hand and a sword in the other.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say you've been playing Skyrim.
Yes, I have.
Alright, we can talk about that. Have you been liking Skyrim?
It's a real good game to get back into again.
Yeah?
A lot of hours spent on it.
Now you're playing on the console?
Yes, Xbox 360.
Ricky does not approve.
Oh.
I'm not thrilled.
Oh, that's right, you're a PC guy.
I've been thinking real hard about getting back into the PC version, loading up about 150 mods. This is the kind of thing that I did the last time I broke it.
Watch your computer just explode.
Nah, it'll be fine.
What kind of mods do you put on?
A lot of realism mods.
Thomas the Train.
Thomas the Train.
I heard about that mod for the first time.
Alright, why don't one of you explain what we're talking about here? Because
well, I remember showing it to them first, so I'll explain it. Essentially, there's a mod called, if you're interested in this mod for Skyrim on PC, it's called Really Useful Dragons. And in case you don't remember, there was once a show called Thomas the Tank Engine.
A magical show.
A magical show that had trains in it, and they went on train adventures. You wouldn't think that a train could get up to a lot of adventures, regardless of its anthropomorphic status, given that it's on rails, but this train defied that expectation.
But this show went off the rails.
And, basically, it replaces all of the dragon models in the game Skyrim with trains that are characters from the show.
Pretty fantastic.
It's kind of wonderful.
They
They're
shoot
just
lasers out of their face.
Don't they choo-choo all the time?
They tweet their little horns.
Well, of course they do. Half time they're trains.
It's
Flying trains.
When you kill them, you absorb the train's soul.
You know, I think, like, in real life, if a dragon apocalypse either happened or a Thomas the Tank Engine apocalypse ever happened, I think I'd rather take the dragon apocalypse.
Now, why is that?
I don't know. Something about Thomas the Tank Engine, like, flying and shooting lasers at you out of his face is terrifying.
Seeing a train flying would be quite intimidating. Because you see a dragon, it's believable.
If you see a dragon, you're like, oh, it might not bother me. If you see a train flying, chances are something exploded and it's heading towards you and you're about to die.
Yeah, I can understand. Have you guys ever seen the movie Unstoppable?
Yeah, I've seen that movie.
I haven't, but I understand it has a lot to do with trains that just cannot be stopped.
Ricky, you know what you did to me there? You hung out like a bait, like, oh, conversation, I'm gonna bite onto it and we're gonna have this interesting conversation. And then you yanked it away at the last second and the audience just watched me walk into a wall. It was like, okay, Ricky, I'll play along. BAM!
Oh, like a train into a filled tunnel.
Like the kids trying to go to Hogwarts, ended up in the infirmary.
Oh, that's a sad story.
Platform 9 3/4, they're gonna need like a guard to stand there constantly now, just like stop little kids from running headfirst into a.
If I believe hard enough.
Am I at Hogwarts? No, you're in the mental patient. You're never gonna think right again, Tommy.
Oh boy, so you've been having fun with Skyrim, Heptime. Anything else going on this week?
You know, I'm getting into reality TV shows. I'm not proud of that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Which ones are you watching?
A lot of bad ones on MTV, such as The Real World.
Shame on you.
I know. I decided to give that show Slednex a try. I hate it. I wasted 30 minutes on it.
I proudly do not know what either of these shows are.
Tom, I have no sympathy for you.
You might have to explain these shows to me, Heptime.
So Real World is a show where they get a bunch of random people and put them in a house. When they decide who the people are, they decide to pick the people who are most likely to be the most aggressive, and the people who are not the smartest, actually.
So essentially, New Jerseyans?
Exactly.
New Jerseyites?
New Jerseyans?
Can we not alienate the audience?
It's okay. New Jersey doesn't know how to use the internet. I'm sorry, New Jersey. I'm just poking fun at you.
He's not sorry.
You guys made Jersey Shore.
We are stuck in a secret state that may or may not still ride horses everywhere and be amazed by the recent advent of indoor plumbing.
California.
I do have a story about that. When I was in middle school, I went to the national competition with my school's Science Olympiad team.
Nerd.
Thank you. I was going to say that.
Sorry, no.
I definitely wanted to be in Science Olympiad. I just had too much going on with other stuff.
Yeah, it was a good time. Regrettably, I couldn't keep doing it in high school. But anyways, in middle school, we won the state competition 2 years running because none of the other states even really showed up with full teams to the state competition. But anyway, we went.
Science is dying.
We went to the nationals, and what they always did before the sort of competition started is they had like a state swap meet where everyone brought, souvenirs that represented their state to trade with the other teams. And trying to explain to other people where Wyoming was. Most people were convinced that it was a city in Colorado. Most people.
Yeah, people in Colorado didn't know where Wyoming was.
Yeah, I've had that. Like, you want to go to Wyoming? Where's Wyoming?
It worries me. It really does.
It was a real eye-opener. It's kind of sad. Good times, though.
Big city folk don't understand our country bumpkin style of life.
But anyway, without getting on too much of a tangent there, Anthony,
Ricky,
how are you doing this week?
I'm doing pretty good.
What have you been doing?
Been keeping pretty busy. College is keeping me busy with tests and everything, but
for sure.
I've still been having fun. It's freezing here. We might talk about the weather a little bit later, but for now, suffice to say, it's just really cold. The winter gods have not smiled upon us. They have smote us with their wrath. And been going for jogs outside and almost dying of hypothermia.
Yeah.
But it's still fun. It's really fun to go out jogging when there's ice all over the sidewalks because you'll just start sliding. And I was actually telling Ricky this story earlier, but I was out on one of my jogs one day and I was thinking about something. And I always listen to music really loud when I jog, so I completely tune the outside world out.
Of course.
And I was thinking about something, and I sort of blacked out, concentrating really hard. And I remember starting to slip on ice, and then just blacking out and thinking about something else. And when I came to and realized where I was, I had slipped halfway down the block on this patch of ice, and I was still sliding. And I'm just trying to think, what would this look like if somebody was watching me from their window? Just some kid just jogging along, and then he hits a patch of ice, and he's surfing.
You were holding your pose, right?
Yeah, of course. I was flexing while I was just sliding along.
Just going down.
I like to imagine you were in your Spider-Man suit that day.
Yes.
Spider-Man?
Yes. Well, no, I was just in the Spider-Man mask and a pair of tidy whities.
How do you breathe in that mask?
You don't. You hold your breath.
Oh, boy.
Now, Ricky, if you would bear to answer my question, how has your week been?
So my week was also pretty busy. Definitely had an exam on Thursday, which felt a lot easier than exams should feel.
Yeah, I hate
Always
that
hate
feeling.
That. That's not a good feeling.
That's how
when you get out of
failed.
an exam and you're like, okay, that felt way too easy. So I probably missed something really important.
Yeah, I mean, hoping for the best, but it was definitely an hour and a half exam period, and I was done in half an hour, so we'll
Did
see
you
how that
answer
goes.
any questions?
Yes, actually, I answered every question. Unlike, there was a kid that was in that class. He isn't any longer, as it turns out. But on the first exam, he showed up, he sat down, got his exam, wrote his name on it, I assume, and, as far as I could tell, didn't answer any questions, because, I mean, you do that thing when you're taking an exam where you look around just to see, oh, how far along is everyone else?
Of course.
No, you guys
Wait,
don't.
I don't
you
do
guys
this
don't
thing.
do this.
What's going on? No, I do that.
Anyway,
keep going.
I mean, not even looking for the answers, but just trying to keep pace, you know.
So you don't feel that dumb.
And cheating. I'd noticed that he was just about 5 minutes in, just staring at an entirely blank front page of the exam. He packed up his backpack, handed this blank exam to the professor, and walked out of the room. And that was one of the last times I saw him in class.
I like to imagine that he just walked up to the front of the class, like ripped the test apart in front of the professor, like slapped something off the desk, and then went running out of the classroom.
Yeah, unfortunately, wasn't quite that exciting. But anyway,
Darn.
so there was an exam, and had a paper rough draft due that I spent like all of Tuesday working on, which that's always fun too. But other than that, started working on because I'm a nerd, this program that I'm just writing in my spare time. I'm trying to write like a chatbot kind of thing.
Yeah,
but one that's a little smarter and like learns from the user.
Yeah,
you know?
he's really being modest. What he's really trying to do is invent an AI, and when he said nerd, he meant evil genius who's writing the code for Skynet, and
Yeah.
we're all gonna die pretty soon, but it'll be cool before it develops sentience and decides to kill us all.
Yeah, I mean, if you're familiar with Mass Effect, basically I'm trying to create the Geth. I just want to make the Geth and have them, you know, rise up and develop emotions and ask if they have souls and things like that.
Develop emotions.
That's all I really want.
You don't ask for much, do you?
I wonder what Siri would say if I asked her if she had a soul.
She has a pre-programmed answer to that. It's annoying.
Yeah? Do you know what she says?
No, a lot of like the questions where you ask if like, Siri, are you a real person? Do you have emotions? All this stuff. She starts joking around or something.
Dang it, Siri. Boring me out.
Yeah, other than that, I also have been playing just a little bit of the video games. I bought 7 Days to Die was on sale today, so by the time this podcast goes up, probably not going to be on sale anymore.
Why don't you explain what 7 Days to Die is?
You could make a rock stick in 7 days.
Yeah, so he's talking about a stone axe, but whatever. I've played it like 2 hours or so, but I've watched some videos. So if you're familiar with Minecraft, it's kind of like Minecraft, but with more of a survival and not getting killed by zombies emphasis. You have to go around and scavenge in randomly generated worlds to include like complete apartment buildings, and you can do a lot of crafting and find guns, and eventually you can build like a forge and forge new gun parts and all sorts of
Drop
fun
the
stuff.
hammer.
It's really neat. It's I have pretty mixed feelings about a lot of early access games, but you know,
Yeah.
I did a lot of video watching and you know, saw what they've got so far, and I'm happy with my purchase so
You're
far.
like, this works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this.
I mean, it depends on the game, but I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying that quite a bit.
Have you survived the zombie apocalypse so far?
For about 3 days.
Do the zombies
3
start
days.
picking up after a certain amount of days?
I'm not actually sure. You know, I think so. I think the horde gets bigger and stronger and moves around and that sort of thing, but I'm not really sure. It reminds me a lot of Project Zomboid, and I sort of thought that maybe it would replace Project Zomboid in my heart, but you know, I don't think it ever will, just because Project Zomboid is so hypo-realistic, and you know, they're both good games. If
Hey.
you like one, you'll probably like the other, but they're both good games on their own.
I mean, don't put 7 Days to Die down. It just wants you to love it, and it's trying real hard.
Yeah, you know who else is trying real
It's-
hard?
What?
Jesus.
Halftime.
Wow.
Halftime's trying real hard,
Yeah,
and
Halftime's trying
he's
pretty hard.
failing.
I do so much for you.
Oh boy, but Anthony, I mean,
Ricky.
don't hold back. I'm pretty sure you've been playing video games this week too,
Yeah,
haven't you?
yeah,
What
I've
have you
been-
been playing?
I've been playing it. That was a fancy segue, by the way, sir.
Oh, I'm really
I was, and I just ruined the subtlety altogether by mentioning that.
So modest.
But I've been playing quite a few video games.
Yeah.
There's 2 that came out from the last time that we talked in the podcast, and one of them was Assassin's Creed Unity, and the other one was Grand Theft Auto 5 that was re-released for the next generation consoles.
Mm-hmm.
And, Assassin's Creed Unity has been getting a lot of hate with all the bugs and with all the bad press going around with Ubisoft.
Yeah, I understand you are an Assassin's Creed apologist.
I have to admit my
right.
bias. I love Assassin's Creed. And the game's not the best, but it's still really good. And, if I were in Assassin's Creed, I think we've talked about this before on the podcast, but it's a series of video games that I really enjoy. And if you're a fan of Assassin's Creed, definitely go out and get Unity. It's a really fun game for Assassin's Creed fans. If you're not, it's probably not the game for you. Probably wait until another one rolls along. But I've been playing a little bit more of GTA now, and
The game looks so nice.
that's really fun. It looks pretty. They've added in a first-person mode, so I think I've spent the most time in the game just switching into first person and just driving around Los Santos.
You drive in the first person?
Yeah,
Oh.
not on missions and stuff, but just when I'm just out driving around. And I don't even go crazy like most people do in Grand Theft Auto. I just drive and I obey the traffic laws and I just appreciate the scenery. And
You've
it's
gone to that point in the game.
just it's so pretty. And then I get out of my car and beat someone senseless with a baseball bat. But
I think the first person
they deserved it.
The first person shooter in GTA 5.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. I kind of think of it as COD actually.
Yeah.
It runs very smooth and it just looks so nice.
I thought I was really going to enjoy it. And I had fun with it when I was originally playing around with shooting in first person. But it's just such a different experience that I switch back to third person just because it's what I'm used to. And I'm sure if I played first person enough, it'd be really fun. But I can't force myself to do that.
Fair enough.
All right. I, of course, still haven't touched the game because the PC version doesn't come out until January, I don't think.
Well,
But,
they're waiting for heists. And then they'll be like, PC and heists! And people's heads will explode.
yeah, I've heard that since the console launch, there are a couple more features they're adding to the PC version that, great. I'm probably still not going to buy it because I just don't want to have that experience by myself all over again. But
You know how you fix that problem?
how is that, Haptom?
You get a console.
Well, yeah, probably not. Yeah, that's true, actually.
It's only hundreds of dollars. You got that.
Yeah,
you got that.
I've only already put
I mean,
several $1,000s into my setup that we're in front of right here, the studio, if you will.
it's a good thing that there's no visual to this episode because Haptom just pooped himself.
I just want friends.
In my studio, Haptom.
What did we tell you? You do that in the corner.
I'm sorry. I didn't make
Oh
it.
boy.
There's
It's,
a box that we labeled. We even set out some Cheerios for you to snack on.
Oh goodness.
But that's pretty good. Went to see a movie, didn't we?
Yeah, we
went to,
did.
Interstellar.
Yeah, that was last weekend.
Chris Nolan's. Yeah.
How was
That's
that?
why
I
we
keep...
skipped a podcast last weekend. We were just destroyed on Saturday from that movie.
I keep hearing mixed reviews about it. How was it?
It does garnish mixed reviews. The first 2/3 of the movie is amazing, and it's really good filmmaking. It's really grounded in reality. It's what you'd expect from Chris Nolan. It's he's heavy in relativity science and he's heavy in conceptual stuff. And then the last third of the movie is still really idea heavy, but it's more outlandish idea.
Yeah.
It's just different. And I don't want to throw any spoilers in there, but it probably could have been a little better well handled. I don't know. I still enjoy the movie, but I should have enjoyed it much more than I did from the ending of it.
That's a little... The ending is very important, in my opinion. You
Yeah.
don't want to hold anyone.
I mean, the way I sort of felt about it coming out of the theater, the first 2 hours, fantastic. If the rest of it had carried on like the first 2 hours, it easily would have made my top 5 movies of all time. But
Wow.
something happens 2 hours in where this serious tone of science and realism and all that is just entirely shattered. And
Space magic.
I said the day of that had I gone to the theater by myself, I would have considered leaving the theater. I don't know if that's true, actually, because it would take a lot to get me to walk out of a movie. But it was that sort of jarring that I was not thrilled about that. If it had ended just 2 hours in and just cut the rest of that, it probably would have been a great movie. I mean, just to let you sort of think about how things played out and not try to tell you what they thought they wanted to happen.
People would probably like complain about like the Sopranos ending though, like cut them
Yeah.
off mid-sentence.
Oh.
I don't know.
That
I
was-
feel like the people who were gonna like the movie for what it was still would have enjoyed it had they cut that ending off, and I feel like they could have got more of the audience that was annoyed by the rest of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Even with the ideas that they went with, and I have to be really careful to avoid spoilers, but even with the ideas that they went with, they still could have done them. I just feel like they could have been more subtle in their approach, and that would have helped the movie.
Yeah.
Because the ending's like pretty bombastic. It's I don't even know how to explain it.
Without spoiling anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't get into it.
But anyway, if you're interested in it, I guess I wouldn't tell you don't see it if you are interested, but I can't recommend it to someone that's not already interested in the idea.
Yeah, if you're a Nolan fan or a space movie fan, then it's probably worth a watch. It's still an enjoyable movie in my mind. It just lost a lot of potential, and we probably sound really cynical. I still enjoyed the movie. I would probably go see it again, but you know, could have been better done.
Yeah, if I had to compare it to other movies I've seen recently, How to Train Your Dragon 2, much better.
That is an
movie
amazing
in
movie.
my mind.
Guys, I want a Toothless.
You want a Toothless?
I just
Yeah.
want a dragon to be mine.
It was a
then,
good
like,
movie.
If dragons ever really did exist, like giant flying reptiles who could somehow spout fire, I feel like if we tried to fly them, we would, like, humanity wouldn't exist.
It would be amazing just to have a dragon to fly around in with.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I would love that. I'm just saying I don't think the giant lizards would really appreciate that.
Yeah. I don't even really want one to fly around with. I just want one to be my pet, and I can like pat it on the head and give it fish and all that good stuff.
And
That's all I want. That's all I really want.
And all I want is a friend by the name of Ricky.
Have John?
I'm
It's
sorry.
not gonna happen.
I know.
Back up.
Oh.
Back up, dog.
But all in all, I think they did a great job with How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
I'll be honest. I didn't think it was as good as How to Train Your Dragon 1. It just
Blasphemy.
I know. I checked
I
the
just-
wiki, and they're like more than 2/3 of people say that 2 is better. But
I'm joking with you. I actually enjoyed the first one better too.
I think the
mean-
first one had a better soundtrack too.
like
In my
2
opinion.
was good. It was enjoyable and it was a fun ride and all, but it didn't have the same charm for me that the first one had.
Yeah.
And also it felt way more manufactured.
Are they coming out with the third one? Isn't it a trilogy?
Probably. I mean, they
wouldn't be
made so much
surprised.
money on the second one that they're gonna go for it.
How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Quest for More Money.
How to Train Your Dragon 3. Open up your wallet.
I'd watch it.
But Interstellar wasn't the only big thing in space news recently.
It's true. Real life Interstellar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Halftime? You know what we're talking about?
I do not.
No? Ah,
Well-
you disappoint me, son.
That was big news, though. The European Space Agency, if you, like Heptom, are completely unaware, sent
sorry.
out a probe, I guess you'd call it, called Rosetta,
Yeah.
that hung out in space for a while until this comet came by, and then they
It's
shot.
like, hey, look at that.
Yeah, and then they shot a lander at it that used harpoons to connect to the comet's surface, and it sent us back some data about comets. It's first landing on a comet ever.
I find the naming just really ironic, though, because it's Rosetta, and it landed on a stone. Rosetta
That's
Stone.
what I was thinking too.
It's really bad, but
Yeah,
you know, my
It
mind
is.
goes there. I just imagine like an action movie type thing though, because when they say it used harpoons, I just imagine like the comet like a space whale, it's like going through space.
Space
It has,
pirates?
has like a blowhole that
the comet was a modern day white whale. Yeah,
it's like harpooning the comet, and it's like this action movie. They're going along down in the lander.
and hunting it very nearly killed us all.
I just picture people wearing like fish bowls on their head. I know that's not even probable. Like cartoons have taught me that's how you breathe in space.
Well, to be clear, they didn't send people to the comet. It was just like a robot. But
Yeah, a robot with fish bowls on their head.
yeah, exactly.
No, that'd be pretty cool. Write a book about it, like the modern day Moby Dick.
Yeah.
That'd be deep.
And then kids would have to read it all over school and talk about how it's a giant metaphor for obsession, and it'd be really stupid because that's not what the author intended at all. And, you know.
And it'd still have a better ending than Interstellar.
Space magic. That was cold.
It was cold.
Speaking of cold, have you guys been having? Because I mentioned how we're having like a really harsh winter here. Do you guys have any stories about the cold, about the ice, snow, winter?
Well, the ice has certainly been a problem for me lately.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm walking to class, I fail to look at the ground when I walk. So,
It's probably important here, Halftime.
I know, but I don't. In the morning, I'm not very focused on much. I just think I need to get to class and deal with that. So as I'm walking, my shoes are horrible in snow and ice. So whenever I take a step on just the littlest of ice, I will slip and fall, and people will look and not help me.
See, I feel like it's almost a natural selection kind of thing, because I have very low self-esteem, so I almost exclusively look at the ground, and it works really well when
Don't
it's
make
all
eye
icy.
contact. Don't make eye contact. Hey, it's saving my life.
Whenever I see Ricky, he never looks at me. He knows I'm there. He just does not look at me.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't look at anyone.
Oh, he's still not looking at you.
It's true.
Friendship.
Yeah, no.
Never. No. I just imagine Ricky, like, having, like, these ice skates hidden in his shoes, and he just, like, taps his heels together, and they shoot out.
Yeah, he's ready for anything.
I'd
Just
like
like-
that.
Slaloms to class. That'd be pretty cool.
It sure would. It sure would.
That'd be an interesting sight, just walking around and seeing Ricky on ice skates swooping through everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as bad now, but like a week ago, there was so much ice that it was just almost coating all the sidewalks.
Oh, yeah.
I seriously considered, like, trying to belly slide to my class like a penguin, seeing if that mode of transportation
Put a car
had
on.
anything to it. Whee!
I'm pretty sure if you see one person doing it, other people are going to be like, maybe we should try this.
I mean, he's weird, but he's an innovator. And then I'll be the next Steve Jobs. And I invented the ice slide. The ice pod.
Wow.
Just a sled on your stomach. It's got Bluetooth, though.
Now the sled jack is on the stomach.
I'd buy some.
Oh boy. Well, this is probably drug on for long enough for the first topic, so I'll tell you what, we're gonna have a mini segment and we'll be right back.
Yeah, Heptom has to relieve himself.
I'm
To
sorry.
the corner this time.
I'll get it this time, guys. I'm following the Cheerios.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Anthony. I'm back to make you laugh, cry, and think about your life. But we're gonna have another mini segment here. Woohoo! Yay! It's everybody's favorite part of the podcast, except for, you know, all the parts where I'm not talking.
They sparkle.
Dang it, Ricky. The mini sequences, because they sparkle. It's never gonna die.
Nope.
It's not gonna go away. Anyway, the segment that we're doing for you guys today is another lovely edition of celebrity quotes. And, you know, I'm going to explain the rules for our guest here because he hasn't been on with us while we've done this mini game. Essentially, what we're going to do is I went onto the internet and found one quote from a celebrity that's completely ridiculous. And then I made up two other quotes and attributed them to celebrities. And I'm going to read them off in no particular order. And then we're going to go through and see if you guys can guess which one was the real quote that was just absolutely ridiculous from a celebrity. But anyway, let's get right into it. First quote, I want a baby from Atlantis, Madonna. Second quote, I think gay marriage should be between a man and a woman, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Third and final quote, the final say is not final until the final say says so, Johnny Depp. So again, the first quote, I want a baby from Atlantis by Madonna. 2, I think gay marriage should be between a man and a woman, Schwarzenegger. And 3, the final say is not final until the final say says so, Johnny Depp. You guys got any idea? Let's go with Ricky first.
Well, this may be a bit of an upset, but I can't go forward with this until you actually read Arnold Schwarzenegger's quote in an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
I think gay marriage should be between a man and a woman. Chopper! It's not a tumor! California! I am the governor. I do good, Ricky.
Yep, that'll be all.
Ricky, get to the chopper!
Boy, I was pretty humiliated when I got this one wrong last time, so
Nah,
there's a lot of pressure on me this time, too.
it's true. You better not fail or you're going to have to go to Halftom's Corner.
Oh, no.
With Halftime.
Not Half Tom's Corner.
Halftime's Corner.
Don't touch the Cheerios!
I didn't like them.
Boy.
Those weren't Cheerios.
I'm gonna have to go ahead and guess Johnny Depp's quote. I think it was his.
Final say, or the final say is not final until the final say says so.
Yep,
All right.
I think that's real.
Halftime, you got any idea? You want to take a guess?
Well, see, I thought it was gonna be the Johnny Depp one, but I don't think Johnny Depp would say something that ridiculous, even though most of his characters.
Are you sure?
That's where it's confusing me.
Have you met Johnny Depp?
I wish.
What if I told you that I am Johnny Depp?
Let's make a movie.
Nah, I'm done with that.
But I think I'm gonna have to go with Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger. All right. Well, one of you got it right. I will tell you that one of you got it right.
If I'm right, Ricky, we're gonna be friends.
I wouldn't count on it.
And it was Halftime who got it right. It was the
What?
Schwarzenegger quote. Oh, man.
Ricky lost a half
By
time.
rule of the
Oh
mini
my
segment,
gosh.
Ricky has to be friends with Halftime now.
Ain't gonna happen.
Still not going to happen.
What do I-
All that bonding time in Halftime's corner is not going to help.
Nope.
What do I have to do? I became smart for you.
Oh, why would he have said that?
I don't know.
He can't even say the state.
I mean-
right?
He's no genius, but I mean,
Nah, I can understand. He was the governor for a bit, and governors tend to say stupid stuff.
I guess.
I was kind of hoping Madonna would have been the right one, because I just picture her with a little fish baby.
Baby from Atlantis.
Man, I'm doing terrible on these mini segments. I'm like 1 for 4.
I'm 1 for 1.
You know, we'll probably switch it up. We might do, like, a week where maybe you'll write one and I'll have to guess, and then I'll be terrible. And
Yeah,
then
I mean, maybe one of these days I'll finally get off my rear and write one of these, but
Halftime got it first try.
That's true.
How'd you do that?
I just thought Schwarzenegger isn't that bright.
Uh,
That's really what I was banking off of.
It's not a tumor. Schwarzenegger, it is a tumor. It's been in there for a long time. We need to operate.
Schwarzenegger had a baby in a movie.
with Madonna, and it was in Atlantis. And then Johnny Depp got the final say.
And that's where babies come from.
I was so sure that that's something Johnny Depp would say. I'm heartbroken right now.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty convincing.
It sounded like it.
Took me a while to think of. I just put myself in the Jack Sparrow state of mind
Yeah.
by saying that I hit my head on the wall real hard a couple of times and thought real hard about life.
It doesn't help.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to think. Oh, I lost to Halftime. Now I've got to think pretty hard about my life.
Oh,
What am I doing?
Halftime's the one who poops in the corner. All right.
That's disappointing.
Well, thanks for joining us for another fun mini segment. I almost said mini sequence.
Because they sparkle.
Because they sparkle. It's never gonna die. I'm sorry for doing that to you guys. But, you know, it was fun. We'll be right back, hopefully to teach you a few things about life and to take all of your money. But we'll be right back.
Welcome back, guys. That was another exciting mini sequence with a special surprise ending where I got it wrong.
Woo! Yeah!
No one could have seen that
Yeah!
coming.
Woo! Ricky!
You get it.
Ricky!
Ricky.
Ricky!
Ricky.
You guys are making me hate my life.
Rick.
Oh,
The
boy.
Rickinator.
Rick Meister.
How long are we gonna do this?
Ricky!
Rickamundo.
The Ricky Man!
But anyway, what are we talking about?
Well, since we've got a holiday coming up, we can't not talk about how, for a day, the Americans and the Indians... that's terribly politically incorrect, but I don't care. How us horrible foreign invaders and the natives got along for a day, and Thanksgiving basically is something.
We're like, hey, look at all these starving white settlers. Let's go help them out. I'm sure that'll pay off.
It's amusingly appropriate because we watched the animated film Freebirds recently, wherein turkeys go back in time.
Yeah, that is a
to
gem.
Stop the first Thanksgiving.
And now the classic cuisine for Thanksgiving is cheese pizza.
I won't be mad about that. I'm not a fan of
I've
turkey.
thought about having, if I could ever not make it back for Thanksgiving to my family, having a college Thanksgiving of just McDonald's.
That sounds amazing.
Get a ton of McNuggets and fries and just all sorts of dipping sauces. We should do that one year.
And then get a heart attack. Hospital visit the next day. We'll make it a new tradition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cholesterol.
As compelling as that sounds,
It's not a tumor.
Do you guys remember any particularly good or particularly bad Thanksgivings you've had?
Yeah. I mean, most of my Thanksgivings are great because I usually go up to my grandma's house and she makes the greatest pumpkin pie and the best mashed potatoes. But I do remember one Thanksgiving, and I have this awesome uncle, my Uncle Brent, and he's the coolest guy ever, basically. We always hang out, we always talk, but we both love mashed potatoes.
Okay.
We both love mashed potatoes to a point that's probably unhealthy.
As
But
Americans, you should.
That's true. It's true. Everybody should eat mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. If not, you're a terrorist. But
That escalated.
yeah, like terrorists tend to do. But anyway, we decided to have a contest, and this is back when I'm 7. I can still put away a lot of mashed potatoes, but I decided to challenge my Uncle Brent and see who can eat more mashed potatoes. And the whole family's in on this, and we prepare just tubs of mashed potatoes. And I remember we both loaded up our plate with a volcano, a mountain of mashed potatoes to start off with. And we got through the first plate, and everybody's, talking to each other and having a good time, but we're also cheering us on, and it's serious. We're sitting beside each other, staring each other down, and we get through another plate, and another plate, and by the fourth plate, I look over and I'm feeling woozy, feel like I'm gonna pass out, gonna die. I can feel the mashed potatoes coursing through my veins, replacing my blood. Gravy's seeping out of every orifice. But anyway, I look over and Uncle Bryn's still going at it. He's still eating mashed potatoes, and he looks at me and he smiles. He knows that he's gonna win this.
Of course.
But I decide to keep going, and I remember I think I passed out at the dinner table because I woke up and I was on the floor of the living room.
Mashed potato.
And it was the next day. It's the day after Thanksgiving. And I didn't want to eat mashed potatoes again for a good long time.
Wow.
Mashed potato coma. It's a thing. It'll get you.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I mean, this might all still be a mashed potato dream. I might have never woken up.
It's possible.
You guys are figment of my mashed potato imagination.
How much did you eat?
Too much, Hapton.
No, that's cool though. That's fun. How about you, Haptone?
Well, a lot of family decides to come over to my house during Thanksgiving, and I'm usually okay with this because they usually bring food.
Mm-hmm.
And I like food,
Yeah,
Food's good.
I like food too.
One of the main things that a lot of them decide to bring is cake. Cake and pie.
Okay.
Cake pie?
Cake pie, yes. So, as a child, this is just the best thing ever, So, I'm not going to hesitate to eat one or two or a couple
Hapton,
cake.
did you dive into a cake?
Yes,
you
I
swan dive?
It got to a point where each of my siblings had a cake in front of them. And so, they would do the normal thing and just take a slice and then put it on a plate and eat it. Now, I just grabbed a fork and started going into it.
Nah, you lie. You just used your hands. You just
I like the sound.
dug into it.
But, so, to this day, I can't eat pumpkin pie anymore because I had about 2 pies to myself one Thanksgiving, and just the idea of it disgusts me.
Oh, what a shame.
I know, it's...
Pumpkin pie, it's an acquired taste, I think.
You think
Because,
so?
yeah, I mean, it can still taste good, but thinking about it, if I hadn't eaten it at Thanksgiving as a little kid, I don't know if I'd be a fan.
I get what you're saying.
It's definitely a classic, though. You gotta have pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like I've enjoyed pumpkin pie for just as long as I can remember. Oh, you can't eat pumpkin pie anymore, Hap.
I know, it's just...
I don't know if we can be friends.
Yeah.
We had a chance to be friends.
Hap Tom, back to the corner. We've replaced your Cheerios with nothing but pumpkin pie.
No, but I love the pumpkin pie, and you know what else I love?
What do you love?
Is cranberry sauce, and not
Yes.
like the chunky garbage with the whole berries in it. I mean the smooth, just
The,
like
out of the can
Yeah.
thing that retains the shape of the can.
yeah, I love that stuff. I know I might be in the minority on that one, but that stuff's just the best.
My great-grandma really loves it, too, and, like, something that me and her will do occasionally is, for our slices of turkey, we won't even, like, mash up the sauce, we'll just keep it in can form, like that, like, gelatinous can thing, and we'll just slice off little circles of cranberry sauce, and just, like, make a turkey sandwich, have turkey as the bread, and then cranberry sauce in between.
Oh, I didn't know you were going there. Yeah, the way that I normally eat it is just we, like, take it out of the can and, like, knock it over on its side and then slice it into, like, 6 sort of short cranberry cylinders and just serve it up that way. And, it's lovely.
The only thing I like about Thanksgiving food is when we're done with the whole traditional Thanksgiving, like, lunch or dinner. I don't know why it's called dinner when it's in the middle of the day for my family, actually. But the one thing my mom does is she just takes all the remaining food and just puts it in a casserole.
Yeah, that's something that we would do, too, because I always go to my grandparents. And, like, Thanksgiving is amazing, and I love Thanksgiving dinner. But definitely one of the best parts about Thanksgiving is the day after Thanksgiving when you eat all the leftovers and just combine it into ridiculous food creations. It gets pretty fun. We definitely make casseroles, too. And it's weird thinking about, like, how different Thanksgiving traditions can be. Because on the other side of my family, on my mom's side, like, we usually go up to my grandparents on my dad's side for Thanksgiving, but some years we'll stay down with my mom's side of the family. And when we say traditional Thanksgiving food, every family has different traditional Thanksgiving food. Like, there's usually turkey and there's usually mashed potatoes, but then everything like else is just up for grabs. And one big thing that my mom's side of the family always does is they always have, along with the turkey, they have a glazed ham.
Yeah.
And they always have that. And then sometimes they'll do like tamales. They'll do like turkey tamales. That's pretty good, but there's different takes on Thanksgiving dinner, so it's cool to see stuff like that.
I kind of want to have shrimp for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it happen, but like it could work.
I don't know how that would work, because when I think Thanksgiving, I think stuffing myself silly. If I stuff myself silly with shrimp, I feel like that would not end well.
Maybe you could stuff the turkey with random foods, like shrimp.
like a turducken.
A turducken?
Have you guys ever had that?
No.
No.
No, me neither.
I mean,
Why do you do this to us?
I will one day.
I was curious. I mean, Anthony's full of stories. I don't know.
That's
Maybe
true.
he has.
I've stuffed a duck inside of a chicken inside of a turkey, but I haven't eaten it, and they were all alive.
And then you sent them back in time in a time machine named Steve.
Free birds! And that's how Leonard Skinner was born.
I think my favorite Thanksgiving, it wasn't really a special story or anything, had to be one of the first ones that I had after coming out here when my first stepdad boiled a turkey, like deep fried it in a big old cylinder.
Huh. That sounds like it could be good.
Or bad.
Yeah,
It was really good, actually. I mean, it didn't come out like the outside was crispy, but it still had... It was just the skin, though, you know? And the inside was still like that good sort of... It was really moist. It had that good turkey consistency to it. It was very good.
Like a crispy outside.
It probably wasn't the healthiest for me to eat the skin.
Mean, when I think of deep frying, I think of like the classy deep frying that like you get like the nice even coat on the outside, and that's what I'm imagining like with this turkey. That's like it's a classy deep fry. It's still gonna clog your arteries. It's still gonna be bad for you, but. Then I think about deep frying, and I think about, like, hillbilly deep fry. I think about just a vat of oil that's, like, black. It's like refined motor oil. Yep. They just boil it in that and pull it out and serve it with whatever weird hillbilly food.
What's your guys'
They eat.
favorite deep fried amusement park food?
Deep fried. Oh,
I think I have
Yeah.
to go with deep fried Oreos.
deep fried
Yeah.
Oreos are
I can
really
have
good.
maybe 3 and then I want to pass out.
And then your heart just stops, and you're like, I think I'm good. I think I should stop.
But they're so I know they're so bad for you, but there's something about it.
Yeah, deep fried Oreos are amazing. Have you ever tried a deep fried Twinkie?
Yes.
Yeah, those. I'm a fan of those, and it's weird because I despise Twinkies on their own. I won't eat them. They're like Satan sponge bread filled with what I assume is the ground up souls of immigrant children.
Satan
Wow.
sponge bread coming to a store near you.
Thanks, hostess. But deep fried Twinkies, especially served with ice cream, something about that just it makes my taste buds just like melt.
I can feel my arteries clogging up.
Oh yeah, the heart attacks are coming. Diabetes will take us all.
What about you, Rick?
I haven't really had any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of my formative sort of amusement park years just not leaving the house ever. So I never really got around to trying that stuff. I mean to one of these days, maybe at like Frontier Days in Cheyenne or something, but just haven't gotten around to it yet.
All right. What about just deep fried food in general? Like
Deep fried in general.
You a fan of that or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nothing really cool or anything. I loves me some French fries. Have for as long as I can
It's
remember.
true.
But
It's true.
yeah, I don't know. I don't really
You
have
know,
any special
speaking-
deep fried passions.
Yeah. Speaking of French fries, though, I found out like something really weird last year, and we used to have a friend. Her name was Haley, but she spent a year in Belgium, and like there's this custom over in Europe to where instead of using ketchup with their French fries, they dip it in mayonnaise, in mayo. And I was like, that sounds really weird, but she convinced me to try it, and I did, and I actually really enjoy it. It's a good compliment to the fries. Like, I still usually do half ketchup and then half mayo, and I don't mix them. I just switch out which one I want to dunk in.
Sure.
Savage.
But it's different because ketchup, we say that it's tomato paste. Really, it's a little bit of tomato and a lot of sugar.
Oh, yeah.
It's just sweetness to put on your fries, and the mayo is just more of a tanginess to go with the fries.
I personally can't do that because I just hate mayo
Hate man?
with
Yeah.
a burning passion.
Any reason why?
No,
Any crazy stories.
I have no reason. That's the weird
Did
thing
mayo
about.
kill your family?
I'm on the hunt for mayo. If you see a jar, you tell me.
Have Tom, we replaced the Cheerios in your corner with nothing but pumpkin pie and mayo.
Oh god, that'd be a horrible prank. It's like, oh, it's whipped cream. Don't worry about it. Take a bite out of it. It's just a chunk of mayo.
And then Half Tom would love it.
Someone would get hurt. It wouldn't be Rick, of course, because
Yeah.
I need to be friends with him.
But speaking of that, is there any fries that you guys can eat like without like condiments? Is there any fries specifically that you like to eat just plain?
Waffle fries.
Waffle fries. Any specific waffle fries or just all waffle fries?
If it's seasoned correctly, honestly, because sometimes they put like a special kind of pepper on it. I don't know what kind it is.
Yeah, like fry salt or something.
Something like that. And I think like with ketchup, it kind of takes away the flavor of it, honestly.
A little overpowering.
So I prefer waffle fries by themselves.
Yeah. How about you, Rick?
Waffle fries are good. I usually take mine with ketchup, though. The only ones I can really think of are, have you guys ever been to In-N-Out Burger?
Yes.
In-N-Out
Oh.
fries are pretty
In-N-Out
good.
has some real good fries.
They're so bad
Like,
for you.
yeah, but, I mean, with a little salt, they can be worse. Which is how I eat those.
Put on some salt, and my heart stopped beating, but I'm gonna keep eating.
You gotta power through it. I don't care what them doctors
I
say.
looked at the veins in my wrist, and they were actively exploding.
He sliced one of them, and nothing but salt flew out.
Went to the doctor, still kept eating my fries. Try to take them away, ain't gonna happen.
How are you alive?
Yeah, fries are good, though. I'm trying to think where I first had it, but you were talking about dipping fries in mayonnaise. One thing that I really like to do that I think is a little more common here in the States is dipping them in ranch dressing.
Oh, yeah.
That can be good.
I personally don't do that just because I'm not a fan of ranch dressing. And that's just a personal taste.
You're
Like,
savage.
that's true. I'm just going to go cry in the corner. Not Half Tom's corner because that's a mess, but...
Just gonna go eat some dry green leaves and call it a salad.
It's true. That's how I take my vegetables. I'm not going to pretend that I want to eat vegetables and drench them in unhealthiness. I'm just going to take it like a man and eat my vegetables plain.
I bet if rabbits could have ranch dressing, they would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
If rabbits could eat anything besides what we feed them,
Grass.
just like that's healthy for them in nature, they would. They would absolutely eat nothing but ice cream all day.
I would teach it to eat a burger. Like, I'd have its little paws just on the burger while it's eating it.
I mean, you imagine like this cute little rabbit eating a tiny burger. I imagine you giving a full-size burger to the rabbit and it being terrifying to watch it eat that thing. Like its jaw unhinging, its teeth are all sharp, filed down to fangs.
What did you do? Took about a month, but I got it.
Yeah,
It's like screeching.
I have a little bit of insight on this because I've had pet rabbits in recent
Did
history.
you feed them burgers? Did
No.
you create the Bunnyzilla?
No, I never did that. But one thing that I don't think a lot of people think about is rabbits actually really love fruit. Like, you can't feed them too much because it's got so much sugar and stuff in it.
Well,
but
it's nature's candy.
yeah, but like strawberries,
Then why isn't it delicious?
rabbits just love them some strawberries.
Yeah, I can definitely see it. I mean, coming from just a sugar standpoint, fruit, it's got a ton of sucrose, so... Or fructose, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm bad with my sciencey sugars. It's lactose, right? That's what it is.
Yeah,
definitely. Can a rabbit get diabetes?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so. I don't see why not.
If you feed it enough fruit, though.
Guys, we got an experiment to run. It's for science.
Can I get diabetes from
Can we
fruit?
not kill my pet rabbit? That'd be great.
It's going to be all of our pet rabbits, Ricky. Don't be selfish. We're killing it together.
It's for science, so it's okay.
No. Oh, but other than Thanksgiving, do you guys have any real fun food stories or foods that you love more than any others?
I mean, thinking about food stories, well-guarded secret, I used to work at McDonald's. And before I get into it, McDonald's is actually a lot better place than a lot of people give it credit for. They take good care of their food. They make sure everything's sanitary, and everything's generally not healthy for you, but healthier than the media makes it out to be. That being said, I
It
didn't
is
really...
pink goo.
No pink goo from what I could see. And there's an interesting series of videos that McDonald's puts out that shows how they do make their chicken nuggets, and they go to their actual production facility.
It's photoshopped.
And yeah, it's probably putting on a show, and it's probably not all clean as they show it, but they do use real chicken in it, so that's respectable. But anyway, I didn't generally enjoy my job at McDonald's.
Surprise.
Why would that be?
You know, it wasn't the people. People I worked with were great, and they all understood each other's pain. It was the people that came into order usually. Made you feel like trash. I never knew old people could be so mean. But anyway,
Just have meat and potatoes guy
meat
coming in
and
all the
potatoes
time.
guy just throwing stuff at me while I'm working. Hi, sir. Welcome to McDonald's. Ow!
Sir, I'm here to help.
Give me my food. What do you want to order? Do you want fries with that? But anyway, one day I was working the fry machine, and it was a really busy day. And we got some buses coming through the drive-thru, which is always a nightmare when you get a bus in any fast food instance. But every kid on those two buses must have ordered a large fries all at once, because I was working like a dog. I was popping fries in and out of the fryer and dumping them in and salting them and getting them in the large things. And I thought, this thought ran through my head at one point, and it hit me, how do I get out of this? I don't want to work anymore. And I looked down at the frying oil, and I'm like, what if I just stuck my hand in there? I could do it. I could plunge my hand into this boiling oil. I wouldn't feel a thing. I'd never be able to use my hand again. But it would get me off of work right now.
Just for the day, get you off.
That was a legitimate thought that went through my head. Like, I am willing to sacrifice my hand to go home
early for the day.
Oh, that's terrible.
And then I snapped out of it, and I'm like, wow, that was a really morbid thought, but that was a real thing that went through my head for a second.
Oh, God.
Wow. So what was the final straw? How did you get out of working at McDonald's?
You did it. He stuck his hand in there.
Because I worked a summer there, and I just decided I didn't want to be there anymore, but the excuse came along that school was coming up and I wanted to focus on my studies, which I really do put a lot of time towards school, so it's not a complete lie that I told to get out of working there, but
yeah.
That being said, I did not want to work at McDonald's anymore. And if you're listening, be nice to your fast food servers, or any servers in general, because they're working hard. They may make mistakes, but I think working in the fast food industry or in the retail industry, this really gives you an appreciation for like how tough those jobs can be.
If I don't get a smile, I'm not going to be that nice. Simple as that. I'm not asking for much.
And, you've got to understand that it's hot back there behind the cash register. So what you do is you get a squirt gun loaded with ice cold water.
This is
liquid nitrogen.
Oh, no.
Oh, it burns!
But it's cold, isn't it?
You're welcome!
Where's my food?
Oh, boy.
Speaking of ice cold pain, another McDonald's story that can come out is I learned that almost everybody that goes to McDonald's orders sweet tea for some reason. Maybe it's because they think it's healthier than soda. It's not. Sweet tea is much worse for you than any soda that they serve.
So bad.
It's just sugar. But that being said, we went through a lot of sweet tea, and we had to refill it constantly. But how we refilled the sweet tea was like a barbaric torture device, basically. There's just a giant tub of sweet tea in the back, and it was on the top shelf, first of all, so it was really hard to get it down without spilling everything.
Sure.
It's basically a trash can-sized thing filled with sweet tea.
Good.
That being said, once you got it down, the edges on the bottom where you had to hold it were sharp. And they would, cut into your fingers.
Do you think someone spent time sharpening it?
Probably. The manager's going every night this'll teach you. But anyway, my friend JD worked there with me, and this is actually, because I had bad experiences, but this was his worst experience, I think, at McDonald's. And he actually had to refill the sweet tea one day, and he was pushing it up to get it over the canister that you have to refill the sweet tea with. And one of the edges cut into one of his fingers, and he started bleeding. And he went and he cleaned himself up, and he informed people so that everything could be sanitized. Mm-hmm. And he wrapped up his finger, and he made sure everything was okay. But after that happened, he went back to working the register right beside me that day, and the head manager came out, and he got mad at my friend JD for bleeding because of what the sweet tea did. That was legitimately, I don't know what happened. That was,
You bleed on your own time.
Yeah.
That blood's
Jeez.
coming out of your pay.
But it's mine. It's mine now.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
How about you guys? Any kooky food stories?
I have a fat story.
Fat story?
That
Do a fat story.
Well, you see, one day
Hap Tom's really fat.
It's true.
I
Diabetes.
I think I might need 2 corners, really.
When we say Hap Tom's Corner, it's more of a dump truck.
But no,
Go ahead.
I found out that one day that Sonic was having a promotion, 50-cent corn dog day.
Nice.
So I decided to take this challenge, and
Oh no.
I informed some of my friends. None of them wanted to come, so it was just me and Eric, my roommate. So we decided to walk to Sonic, and we take our orders. He gets 4 corn dogs. I'm like, hey, that's pretty good. Only cost you $2.
I can outdo that.
Yeah, and I was just like, how much do I have in my wallet? I have a $5 bill. Let's see what this looks like. I'll have 10 corn dogs, ma'am. She's like, all right. Eric gets his corn dog, and they're still making mine. That's when a bunch of people decide to go into Sonic at the same time. And when a lady came out to look for this group of people, she shouted out into the area, 10 corn dogs. At that moment, I decided to stand up and say, right here. And I swear all the music stopped. Everyone decided to look at me. She handed me the bag, and I just walked out.
Those dogs are mine.
People just kept looking, and in my head I thought, I'm going to eat these because I'm sad now.
This is halftime. He eats his feelings.
Hey, it solves my problem for a little bit.
Oh man,
that's pretty cool.
That is a surgically specific reference to Freebird.
Leonard Skinner.
Oh boy.
What about you, Rick?
I don't have any particularly exciting restaurant stories, but probably my favorite restaurant experience of all time was if you've never been to a Brazilian barbecue, I would highly recommend going to one of these.
Good.
So,
do you Foco de Chao or?
No, there's one a little bit north of Denver called Texas de Brazil.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's-
I've been there.
It's real expensive, but it's super fancy. And the way it works is it's sort of an all-you-can-eat kind of deal. So you go in and you pay, and they... Well, I guess you don't pay right away, but you go in
Give
and
us
they,
your money.
they seat you, and they have this super fancy salad bar with, like, fancy hams and cheeses and
Fancy
couscous and salad stuff too, but
Yeah.
all the fancier fixins next to it.
Fixins.
And when you're satisfied with your salad and you've had all your your appetizer, you have this little card on your table, and one side of it's red, and it says like enough or something like that. I don't remember.
Stop filling me.
But the other side's green, and so what you do, you flip your card from red to green, and these people just walk around the dining area with these enormous skewers of meat.
It's basically a cow on a pike.
And they'll come by and ask you if you want what they've got. And so they've got, like...
What?
Some of the things I remember where they have, like, a huge hunk of flank steak that they'll just, like, cut you off some slices. They
Maybe
have
like
these...
some tricorners.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Brisket.
They've got, like, these hunks of sirloin wrapped in bacon. They had chicken parmesan. They had lamb. They had...
the spicy chicken. It's really good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want to go
It's
there now.
phenomenal.
Sounds delicious.
They're pretty
It's an
expensive,
amazing
but we
place.
should
It's-
make a trip.
It's real expensive, for sure. You've got to save up. But
Worth it, though?
it's real good.
It's pretty good.
And it's fancy too, because what they'll do is, like, between portions, when you flip your card back to red so you can finish all the food that they've shoved on your plate, they'll, like, bring you this fancy fried banana stuff as a palate cleanser. So you eat your meat, and then you eat, like, some of the banana so that you're ready to go again, and you flip it back, and they bring more meat. And it
Yeah.
pretty much just carries on like this until you die.
Yeah, it's basically until your stomach splits open. I've been to a few Brazilian steakhouses, and pretty much all of them are just amazing. I went to one called Steak de Ipanema, and it's another chain of Brazilian steakhouses that's essentially the same thing, but instead of like the fried plantain banana stuff, they would come around with pineapple, like grilled pineapple.
Okay.
And it's really good. If you've ever had grilled pineapple, it just it makes it so good. And just like stuffing myself silly like that just reminds me and my family were lucky enough to go on a Disney cruise at one point, which if you ever have the money to either go to Disney World or go on a Disney cruise by far. The cruises are amazing.
I don't trust Disney that much.
It's great, but every night you go to like a different themed restaurant, and your waiter like staff sticks with you, and they like know all of your family's names and stuff, and like so you get the same people who serve you every night, and it's like different themed restaurants with different menus.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool, and it's a really personal experience.
That's awesome.
But I got along with my waiter pretty good. We would always joke back and forth with each other. And one night I'm just like, I'm feeling pretty full, and dessert comes along, and I don't really eat much of it because I had stuffed myself beforehand.
Sure.
That being said, one of my waiters comes along. I feel really bad because I can't remember his name. I think it was Esteban. But he comes over and he's like, "What's wrong? You didn't like the dessert? I can get you a different one if you want." And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm just full." And he's like, "Oh, that's nonsense." And he comes over and puts it on the fork, and he's like, "Open your mouth." And I'm like, "No, it's okay." And he's like, "No, this is Disney Cruise. Open your mouth." And he starts feeding me, and it's great. All the family's laughing while he's like And I have no choice but to play along.
How old were you?
This
was last year.
Yeah, this was like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
This is Disney Cruise. Hey.
But he was just being playful, and I was playing along. But it was funny because he was just basically shoving all of my dessert in my mouth at once.
I feel like his manager was watching, just like, if he
man.
doesn't eat his cake, you gotta get in there.
It was a lot of
boy.
fun. Those guys were great.
I could see them doing that to like an old man with a beard, just like, you gotta keep
Just
eating.
eat it. Just throwing it in his beard.
I'm a diabetic. That's no excuse.
We'll just hook you up to the sugar pump.
Oh, here's some
wow.
insulin.
That does sound fun, though.
Insulin?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That sounds great. It's not a tumor.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, you guys want to take a break? Come back really quick.
Let's do it.
All
I think I gotta go rest. I might have caught diabetes talking about all that unhealthy stuff.
To my dumpster.
Don't eat the Cheerios. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's time for another mini segment or mini sequence because
They sparkle.
they sparkle. I'm sorry. It's gonna kill me one day. I'm dying from diabetes.
Oh, get over it.
Get
Anyway.
over diabetes.
Dark
That's Dr. Emma
dark-
right here.
dark chocolate. But anyway, the mini segment that we're going to bring to you guys right now is another old-timey news report, starring your anchor, Anthony Farmer. But basically the concept of this mini game is going to take a news story that happened within the past couple of weeks, something pretty popular, and translate it into basically an 18th century time traveler writing a letter to his loved one about stuff that's going on right now that he just does not understand.
Hopefully it won't be as racy as the last one.
It's been fought by these.
Yeah, if you didn't catch the last one, it was about Ebola. Ebola, that was pretty fun. But anyway, hopefully I can bring you guys another Oscar-worthy performance, and hopefully I can steal it from Leonardo DiCaprio and rub it in his face. But anyway, time to travel back in time with me. Woo!
Yay.
Oh, and just to mention to you guys, the news story that we're focusing on this time around is something that we touched on earlier in the podcast, and that was the comet landing. Yay!
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
18th century.
Snape kills Dumbledore.
Whoa, bro. I didn't read that far yet.
You lose. Alright. Serious acting time. Dearest Elizabeth, I'm writing to you again. I've woken up this time after emerging from that strange phone booth that happened to be in the 18th century. I guess we had phone booths back then. But anyway, I've woken up in a strange place in an even stranger time. Everything's technologically amazing. They have so much just amazing stuff here. It's blowing my mind, Elizabeth. But something happened. You know, I know that you're studying with your tutor, and that he's teaching you all about astronomy. But Elizabeth, these beings here, these strange dressing, butt-song worshipping people who don't seem to understand the basic concept of manners, somehow walk among the stars, Elizabeth. They have great metal horses that spout fire out of their rears and soar into the sky like eagles without wings. But Elizabeth, they go further than the sky. They reach into the stars. They soar in the heavens in the firmament, and it's marvelous. They've walked on the moon, and Elizabeth, they've done something preposterous. They've done something spectacular. I know I've taught you in some of our studies about Halley's Comet. Well, apparently there's more like it. There's other comets that float around in this great vastness out there, and these people here, they decided to catch one. They went on a comet hunt, Elizabeth, and I don't know how they did it. They flew up in one of their strange metal horses, and they used harpoons, skewers, Elizabeth, and they skewered the beast and hunted it down. They reined it in with their vast strength of their metal horses. I don't understand how they did it, but they caught the comet, and I have to be honest, Elizabeth, I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know why they caught a comet, but it's still amazing nonetheless. They had some people who launched the horse go and do a report to all the important people of Earth, all of these butt-worshipping peasants, and they reported on all this great work, but apparently one of the head scientists was wearing some rather inappropriate clothing, Elizabeth, and these radical women who seem to despise anything that's not a pantsuit said that he had to apologize for the shirt that he was wearing, Elizabeth. I don't understand. This man just caught a star. This man just walked among the gods. How could they be upset with such a minute thing? Elizabeth, I need to rest my head. There's so much going on right now. Apparently I'm going later tonight to something called a movie. A movie, Elizabeth. It's like one of those picture shows that we used to play back at the ranch. Except it's moving pictures. I don't know what's going on, Elizabeth. I'll write you about that later. But anyway, I wanted to tell you about this great comet hunt and all the amazing things that we're accomplishing here. Hopefully I can reach you later, and I hope you're enjoying your time. Maybe someday I will see you again. But until then, Elizabeth, space. Yay!
Woo. So how do they have a picture show at the ranch in 18?
Yeah, I don't really know. They had phone booths too, apparently.
Yeah, it's pretty happening thing back then.
This alternate universe is just off the rails.
I mean, time travel changes things, man.
Apparently, the Freebirds went back in time and brought
ripple
them
effects,
moving pictures,
pizza,
oh man,
fried Twinkies.
just having cardboard so far in advance really changed things.
I mean, the
People who haven't seen Freebirds are gonna be really good.
yeah, these are really obscure references.
But that's great.
All right.
Well, that was fun.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. So, I guess we'll take another quick break here. I need to go rest my eyes after exhibiting those great acting chops. Great acting mutton chops. And maybe we'll get right back to you guys. I don't know.
Maybe.
Alright, see you guys soon.
Welcome back from the past once again. Oh man, that sounded awful. I feel bad for that
it
one. I'm
does.
sorry. I'm sorry for assaulting your ears, everybody. Oh man, it's been fun. It's been so fun.
Yeah, it's been moderately fun.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it's been terrible, we'll be honest.
I'm so upset.
I'm really sorry for putting this on the internet, guys.
It's trash. We're dirt.
You belong in my corner.
Oh boy. Oh,
Tom, did I authorize you to speak?
I'm sorry. I spoke out of turn.
man, what have we even been talking about, guys?
Man,
Food,
all sorts of stuff.
Thanksgiving,
Interstellar.
Interstellar,
Sliding on our bellies through the ice.
Freebird!
Freebirds, making some
true.
pretty obscure references.
Talking about how it's not a tumor.
Yep. Me losing to Heptom.
How does that feel, by the way?
It burns.
It's extremely shameful.
It burns on the inside.
And there's the races. Doing so well.
Oh boy. But
Hint, hint, one of us might be the black friend.
is it me? I'll bet it's me.
I hope it's me.
It's not me. It's actually Heptom.
Ricky's been black all along.
Why'd you say,
Oh, boy.
What do you mean,
It's not who I am, Heptom.
Race war!
I'll fight you, Rick. With your love.
All right.
No, but talked about Comet Landing, about Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, we touched on that. Grand Theft Auto.
Definitely.
Talked about fast food and waffle fries and Thanksgiving,
Oh,
all
man.
sorts of stuff.
It's been so fun. You know, maybe we'll even do it again sometime.
Yeah, maybe.
With
Maybe-
me?
Maybe
No,
next
no
week.
guarantees.
Except-
Not with Halftime.
Oh.
Back to your corner.
Oh, but anyway, Haptom, have you had fun?
I had a good time.
Liar. Ricky, we didn't hit him hard enough.
Oh, man.
Maybe next time,
Oh.
guys.
And then I pull out my gun.
You will speak when spoken to.
Oh, but thanks so much for being here, Haptom. It's been a blast. Anthony,
Yeah, Ricky.
it's been good.
It's
been
been,
good,
it's
Anthony.
been
Thanks-
swell.
Thanks
It's
for
been
showing
swell.
up for a fourth time. You know, we might actually keep this going.
Yeah, maybe.
I
Hopefully,
have high hopes.
hopefully people are enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
You're enjoying it.
You should.
Halftime's not. He's enjoying it, but he shouldn't be. We'll try harder next time.
We
Please
will.
tell Ricky to love me.
He'll never love you.
Oh, boy. But, Haptom, while you're here, is there anything that you would like to plug on the podcast?
We are deciding to start up an R&B group called Ricky and the Browns.
Yes. Do up, do up.
Ricky's our lead singer.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's gonna happen. He's got the voice of an angel.
Woo, Ricky.
Anthony, is there anything you would like to
Ricky.
plug?
Not this week.
Not this week?
I plugged my arteries plenty
Ugh.
with all the taco food.
Man.
Yep. But I'm doing pretty good. You can go ahead and plug away. Plug a chug chug.
Well, I feel bad with how little we've been plugging lately, but I'd like to go ahead and plug 7 Days to Die if you're interested in zombies and hordes and Minecraft, maybe? Maybe
Yeah.
Minecraft? Just check out 7 Days to Die. It's really cool. These guys are doing a good job. It's developed by the Fun Pimps, which just makes me so happy. Being sold and on sale right now, won't be by the time this podcast goes up, but on the Humble store, I would just love to plug a Humble Bundle as well. Those guys do great work.
It's true,
10%
they do.
of all profits go to charity. They do a pay what you want bundle of games like every month or so. It's really cool. Just check those guys out. Sometimes they have real good deals too. So
Yeah.
if
Do
you're
it for-
frugal like me,
Do it for charity.
do it. Give money.
Yeah!
Give money to people.
Give us your money. All of it.
Don't even hesitate.
Shove it at your computer screen right now. We'll get it.
But additionally, I would like to thank Bensound at bensound.com as well as Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. They
Yeah.
will be listed in the comments and have provided music that will be used in this podcast, so that's great. One last thing, if you're listening on SoundCloud, you may have noticed that only 2 episodes are available right there. If you'd like to listen to older episodes, please head over to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and all that good stuff, because unfortunately on SoundCloud we can only keep 180 minutes worth of content, because we're cheap and don't pay to have more.
Yeah, and we talk a lot, so that fills up fast.
It's true, we just cannot be asked to shut up.
We have a problem,
It's a
Alex.
real shame.
You have a
Tom,
problem.
you have a problem.
I
Get
wanna
to your
feel-
corner.
I want to feel better about myself.
It's okay, Abjom. We have problems too.
But if you're listening on YouTube and you want to listen to
99 of
the
them.
episode just a little bit earlier, it'll usually come out on SoundCloud first. So, you've got a reason to follow us both places. And
Yeah.
we could really use the publicity. So
Yeah, share us with your friends.
please share us with your friends.
Wait, we're gonna get friends?
Well, we are.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll see about you.
You can have corner buddies.
Will you be my corner buddy?
No.
Anthony?
Get better Cheerios.
Internet?
Anyway, if you'd like to send us feedback, suggestions, fan mail, hate mail,
Hate mail would be great. That'd be if you could send us some hate mail, that would just make my day.
Anthony really likes hate mail.
I think
do.
it's funny.
But if you have anything you'd like to contact us with, please send it over to couchsidemail@gmail.com. That's altogether couchsidemail@gmail.com. No spaces, super easy. I guess that's about it.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
that's about it.
Well, it's been fun, guys. I hope to see you back here again sometime, except for halftime.
Oh,
And
I'll be back.
all you beautiful netizens out there,
All right.
keep it real.
Woo!
Yeah!